Welcome to Divorces in North Carolina Sandra Dinkins, resisting the urge to do this during your divorce. Do you know the consequences of lying in a divorce court? Let's delve into the concept of perjury, a term we often hear but might not fully understand. Simply put, perjury is the act of willfully telling an untruth in a court of law after taking an oath or affirmation. It's a serious crime, punishable by law, and it's more common in divorce proceedings than you might think. Imagine a spouse standing in front of a judge swearing to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Then, they proceed to lie about their financial situation. Maybe they understate their income or exaggerate their expenses, aiming to reduce the amount they'll have to pay in alimony or child support. Sounds like a clever plan, right? Wrong. Consider the case of John Doe, a successful business owner who, during his divorce proceedings, lied about how much his business was making. He hoped to lessen the financial blow of his divorce. However, the court discovered his deception. The truth always has a way of surfacing, especially when experienced lawyers and forensic accountants are involved. If you are getting value from this video, please subscribe. Once his lies were exposed, John didn't just face the financial consequences he tried to avoid. He was also charged with perjury. Yes, he ended up paying more in alimony and child support, but he also faced legal penalties, including a hefty fine and a prison sentence. His reputation took a massive hit, and his business suffered as a result. This is just one example of how lying under oath can backfire. The consequences extend far beyond the divorce court, affecting one's personal and professional life. The court takes perjury very seriously, and so should you. Remember, the truth may be hard to face, but it's always better than the alternative. Lies might offer a temporary escape, but they can lead to long-term damage that's much harder to recover from. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. As we can see, the truth always finds a way to surface, often with dire consequences. So before you consider bending the truth in your divorce proceedings, think about John Doe. Remember the potential repercussions of perjury. Honesty isn't just the best policy, it's the only policy worth considering in a court of law. Have you ever thought about the implications of using secrets as a bargaining chip in a divorce settlement? Extortion, in the context of divorce, is the act of threatening to reveal damaging information about your spouse unless they agree to your terms. It's a desperate strategy that can backfire spectacularly. Let's delve into the murky world of extortion. It's a crime, plain and simple, and it's treated as such by the courts. Imagine a scenario where one spouse possesses knowledge of the other spouse's illicit activities. This could range from unethical business practices to a hidden affair. The knowing spouse then threatens to expose these secrets unless their demands are met. This could be a specific alimony amount or even full custody of the children. This is extortion. Now consider the case of John, a successful business owner who was divorcing his wife, Jane. John had secretly been embezzling funds from his company, a fact Jane discovered. Instead of reporting him, Jane used this information to demand a larger divorce settlement. John, fearing the loss of his business and potential prison time, initially agreed. However, the truth eventually came out. When the court discovered Jane's tactics, they didn't react kindly. Jane was charged with extortion, facing both fines and incarceration. Furthermore, her actions negatively impacted her divorce settlement. The judge, appalled by her tactics, awarded John a larger share of their marital assets and primary custody of their children. Jane's attempt to play dirty had turned her world upside down. This real-life situation exemplifies the dangers of extortion in divorce. Not only does it potentially lead to criminal charges, but it can also dramatically affect the outcome of your divorce settlement. It's a high-stakes gamble, where the odds are stacked against you. As you can see, playing dirty in divorce proceedings can land you in a lot of hot water. No matter how tempting it might be to use what you know as leverage, remember the tale of Jane and John. Extortion isn't just unethical, it's illegal and can drastically alter the course of your life. What happens when someone falsely claims domestic violence during a divorce? This is a question that unfortunately needs to be addressed, as it is a reality in some divorce proceedings. Falsifying domestic violence is a serious offense, one that can significantly impact the outcome of a divorce case. It's a heartbreaking reality that genuine cases of domestic violence are prevalent, and they should always be taken seriously. However, it's equally devastating when false claims are used as a weapon in a divorce battle. Let's consider a real-life case study to illustrate this point. Imagine a scenario where a wife initiates a heated argument with her husband, premeditatedly aiming for him to lose his temper physically. She then calls the police, misrepresents the situation, or goes to court and lies about the events, leading to a domestic violence order. This strategy could result in the husband being evicted or even influence child custody outcomes. Such manipulation is not only morally reprehensible, but is also a criminal act. It's worth noting that false accusations can have serious legal consequences. The accused spouse may face unjust restraining orders, loss of child custody, and even jail time. Moreover, it can severely damage the accused's reputation, affecting their personal and professional life. On the flip side, the accuser, when found guilty of making false claims, can also face legal ramifications. Courts do not look kindly upon those who manipulate the system and exploit serious issues such as domestic violence for personal gain. The impact of false domestic violence claims extends beyond the couple involved. It also undermines the credibility of genuine victims of domestic violence, making it harder for them to get the help and justice they need. So while emotions can run high during a divorce, it's crucial to remember that the truth always carries more weight. Falsely crying wolf not only hurts the individuals involved, but also the wider cause of combating domestic violence. Falsifying domestic violence is a serious crime and can have significant repercussions in a divorce case. Can creating fake social media profiles to slander your spouse affect your divorce? You might be surprised to learn that the answer is a resounding yes. In the age of digital communications, social media has become a battleground for couples going through a divorce. It's not uncommon to see one party trying to cast the other in a negative light by creating fake profiles or posting misleading information. But let's be clear, this is not only unethical, but it can also have dire legal consequences. Imagine a scenario where a wife creates a bogus Facebook account to portray her soon-to-be ex-husband as irresponsible. She posts photos that make it seem like he's always out drinking and partying, insinuating marital misconduct. It might seem like a clever tactic to gain the upper hand in custody battles or alimony disputes. But what happens when this scheme is exposed? Let's look at a real-life case study. In a recent divorce case in California, a husband discovered that his wife had been using a fake Instagram account to post defamatory content about him. Once this was brought to the attention of the court, the judge did not take these actions lightly. The wife's credibility was damaged, and this behavior was considered during the determination of the divorce settlement. While this misuse of social media might initially seem like a quick way to sway the outcome of a divorce, in reality, it can backfire significantly. Not only can it lead to the loss of trust in the court's eyes, but it can also result in penalties, including fines or even jail time for severe cases of defamation or harassment. Moreover, such actions can negatively impact the emotional well-being of everyone involved, including children who may inadvertently stumble upon these harmful posts. So, before you consider using social media as a weapon in your divorce, remember this: honesty and integrity go a long way in legal proceedings. The misuse of social media can end up costing you more than you might gain. As you can see, using social media to slander your spouse can have serious implications on your divorce settlement. Could hiring someone to harm your spouse be a desperate measure some take in a divorce? You might think it's a plot point from a thriller movie, but unfortunately, this scenario is not just confined to the silver screen. In the throes of a contentious divorce, some individuals, blinded by anger, resentment, or greed, may resort to unimaginably drastic measures. Among these is the unthinkable act of hiring someone to harm or even kill their spouse. This might be sparked by a variety of motivations, perhaps to avoid splitting assets or to escape paying alimony. Let's consider a real-life case. In the late 90s, a prosperous businessman from New York, smitten by a new love interest and unwilling to part with half of his fortune, plotted to have his wife killed. He believed that her death would free him from the financial obligations dictated by a divorce. But, like a scene straight out of a crime drama, his plan was foiled, and he was prosecuted. This case serves as a stark reminder of the lengths some individuals will go to during a divorce. The businessman's actions resulted in him facing severe legal consequences, far worse than any financial implications a divorce could have brought. His plot not only cost him his freedom, but also his reputation and relationships with his children. It's important to remember that judges do not take these actions lightly. They are grave criminal offenses that carry heavy penalties, often leading to lengthy prison sentences. Moreover, such actions can irreparably damage one's standing in the eyes of the court, affecting the outcome of other related matters, such as custody battles or property divisions. Regardless of the circumstances of your divorce, it's crucial to resist these destructive impulses. They not only harm others, but they also end up harming you more in the long run. As we've seen, resorting to such drastic measures can have severe legal consequences. But more than that, they can leave lasting scars on the very fabric of one's life, far beyond the confines of the courtroom. Why is getting an experienced family law attorney crucial during a divorce? This question stands at the heart of our discussion. Let's delve in. A divorce is a complex process that intertwines emotions, finances, and the law. It is a legal labyrinth that one should not attempt to navigate alone. An experienced family law attorney can be your guide, your advocate, and your shield during this challenging time. Legal counsel is not just about courtroom representation. It's about having someone who understands the intricacies of the law and can explain them in a way that makes sense to you. It's about having someone who can strategize, who can assess the situation from all angles, and who can anticipate and prepare for potential obstacles. Now let's talk about the role of a forensic accountant. This is a specialist who can dig deep into financial matters, uncovering hidden assets, identifying irregularities, and painting a clear picture of the financial landscape. This information is invaluable when it comes to determining fair alimony, child support, and asset distribution. A forensic accountant can also help expose financial deception, such as hiding income or assets, which we've discussed earlier. This level of scrutiny can help ensure that everyone involved is playing by the rules and that the outcome is equitable. But remember, the truth is your most powerful weapon. It's not about winning at all costs, but about ensuring fairness and protecting your rights. If your spouse has committed perjury, extortion, or any other criminal act during the divorce process, your attorney and their team can bring this to light, potentially influencing the outcome in your favor. But it's not just about the financial aspect. It's about your future, your peace of mind, your children's well-being. It's about ensuring that you can move on from this chapter of your life with dignity and security. Having an experienced attorney at your side can help you navigate the complexities of a divorce and ensure your rights are protected. Yes, it's an investment, but one that can make all the difference in your divorce journey. So, what have we learned about the consequences of dishonesty during a divorce? We've taken a deep dive into some of the potential pitfalls spouses may face if they choose to take a dishonest route during their divorce proceedings. Starting with perjury, we've seen how lying about financial matters, in an attempt to manipulate the outcome of child support or alimony payments, can lead to severe legal consequences. Next, we touched on the dangers of extortion, where one spouse may threaten to expose the other's misdeeds unless certain conditions are met. This act of coercion is a crime and can lead to severe penalties if proven in court. In our discussion about the falsification of domestic violence, we've seen how some individuals may provoke altercations or even fabricate incidents to gain an advantage in custody battles or eviction proceedings. Such actions, while potentially damaging to the other spouse, are also criminal offenses and can be penalized heavily. The misuse of social media was another key point. Creating fake profiles or posting deceptive content to slander the other spouse can backfire tremendously. Not only can this lead to legal consequences, but it can also harm one's reputation and credibility in the court's eyes. Then, there's the deadly impulse. The unthinkable act of hiring someone to harm or even kill a spouse to avoid the financial implications of a divorce. It's a horrifying reality for some, and the legal consequences are, rightfully so, severe. But it's not all doom and gloom. We've also discussed the importance of seeking experienced legal counsel. A good family law attorney can help navigate these troubled waters, ensuring that everything is above board and fair. They can enlist the help of forensic accountants and other professionals to ensure transparency and honesty throughout the process. In conclusion, the potential repercussions of dishonesty during a divorce are far-reaching and severe. So let's heed this advice. Remember, honesty is always the best policy, especially when it comes to the legal proceedings of a divorce.